office, we have hired these people, and they are working for us. And if they don't do what we want, we can vote them out of office. And we need to remember that we really are their employers. Some congressmen are exceptional. They will, and I've had this experience, and can I mention a very prominent name?
Yes.
I do not live in the state of Illinois, but I went to Barack Obama's office 2 years ago. I talked to his staffer about Sierra Leone. I said, we really need your help to get Peace Corps back to Sierra Leone. I can't vote for him. I don't live in Illinois. Well, I can now, and he sent a wonderful letter to Peace Corps. So there are congressmen like that will listen to you even if you're not their constituent. I may mention that another congressman from New York, who I called many times, did not ever even return my phone calls.
Oh, don't mention that.
I won't mention her name.
Oh, please.
But I do have to say Barack Obama sent a wonderful letter to Peace Corps, and when we were at the Peace Corps office, they were very impressed by his letter. This was 2 years ago, before he became so prominent. But Peace Corps even told us that they had held a reception for new congressmen, and they said usually they just send someone from their staff. They said Barack Obama himself came, and that really impressed them. He really does care about Africa. So when you go to their office, call for an appointment, say who you are, say you're a constituent, tell them what you want to talk about. You probably won't get to talk to the congressman himself. You'll talk to their staffer. But they have people who work on different things, legislation, judiciary, money. And so if you tell them what your concern is, they will direct you to that person, and you'll get an appointment with that person. When you go, it's always good to give them a business card. I always like to do that just because then they know my name, they have my phone number, my email, they can get back to me. And ask the staffer also for a card. Then when you discuss your issue, whatever it is, be brief but be to the point. These people are very busy. They don't have hours and hours. And now I've been at listening sessions where, someone is concerned about health care. She spends a half hour talking about her grandmother's broken leg. And, really these people don't have time to hear your life story. So be brief, be concise, and then leave some written material so that afterwards they have something. Leave your contact information. Leave some notes about the issues you talked about so that they'll remember that. And ask for a reply. Say, I would like to have a reply after the senator has discussed this with you. And if you don't get a reply, call back. Then afterwards, it's always good to send a thank you. I usually send a fax. Thanking the congressman, saying, I met with Mary Blaine today. I had a very good discussion. This is what we discussed. I found her very easy to work with, very pleasant, and so on. And I hope that you will discuss this with her. Because, again, that brings your name back to the congressman's mind. And also it's a little nice feedback for the staffer who treated you well. And I found that if you have the staffer on your side, you have the congressman on your side. And we have a wonderful young lady in Senator Feingold's office, Savannah Langsfelder. And she is the first and only staffer in Congress, I believe, whose whole focus is Africa. And she's wonderful. I call her. She calls me back. I'm hoping to go and see her on the 19th. And she has direct contact with the senator. So if you get something like that, you open the door. And I put here the names of the senators on the African Affairs Committee. Like I said, they're the ones who really care about Africa. They're the ones who know about Africa. And especially if you live in Maryland, Virginia, Florida, Illinois, Minnesota, Louisiana, Nebraska, these are the ones that you really need to go. And even if you don't have an issue, go to their listening sessions if they're in your area. Call them. Just every so often say that you are very interested in Sierra Leone, you were a Sierra Leonean, or give, why. I lived in Sierra Leone, or I taught there, or I have friends there, just to make their acquaintance. And when there is some big issue, they know who you are, and they know that you're interested. Yes?
Have you had any contact with Barbara Boxer or Dianne Feinstein from California?
No, I haven't, but I've heard very good things about them.
Oh, okay.
Here on the next list is the House of Representative people, and now they've changed the committee. It's on African and Global, I should have said African Affairs and Global Health, which go together. Donald Payne from New Jersey has been to Sierra Leone. We've had very good contacts with Sheila Jackson-Lee, and also, she's not on this committee, but another, Diane Watson, yes, she is.
Yes, I know that.
Very good contacts with her. She did write a letter to Peace Corps in support of us. So these are the people that we really get to know. Another person in the State Department, Deji, I can never look at Deji.
Yes.
I can. He's actually, his father is Nigerian. I think his father is American. He's the State Department desk officer for Sierra Leone. He's the one that really, again, knows us, is concerned about Sierra Leone. He went to Sierra Leone for the first time for the opening of the new American embassy. By the way, if you haven't seen that, it's an amazing compound. And I asked him how he liked it, and he said, I just loved Sierra Leone. He said, I've never been there. He said, I was so impressed by the people, the way I was treated and everything. So he's another friend. So I have up here the websites. One of my favorite books, and do you have it here? Oh, I must have left it back there. Just a minute. Here, you can talk while I'm typing it.
Well, I guess Julie's doing such a great job. Let me just add to a few things that Julie have said. And I want to thank Julie for doing this because she and I, we served on the Friends of Sierra Leone board, and she's our advocacy chair. So when the issue came up of advocacy, I contacted Julie, and she accepted right away. She said, yes, I would love to do it. So thank you very much, Julie. She stressed on politics being local, and this is very true. So if NOSLINA, if we're going to move forward with these advocacy issues, we have to localize our issues and take it directly to our congressmen and Senate reps. And hopefully, with time, we'll build a committee that will just focus on some of the issues that we're going to discuss later. There's a slides. That slide will show us exactly the issues that we're going to focus on. And those are the things that we'd like to accomplish for the next 2 years on our advocacy committee. Go ahead, Judy. Go ahead and finish.
Well, all of these are this is... I love this book, and you can buy this at Barnes & Noble or Borders or online. And I have even the email somewhere where you can get it. I thought I did. Oh, yes, Capital Advantage. It comes out every session of Congress. It lists all the congressmen. It lists who's on what committee. It lists the names of the staffers, the phone numbers, the facts. Important information, what committees they're on. And I found this really helpful when I'm calling for appointments or calling to request information. It's almost like my Bible. I write in and and it changes every session of Congress. But this has all the information, and it's really helpful when you call a congressman's office to know some of these things. What their interests are, and I know in some of the states like Texas or California, they're such large states, it's hard for me to know what district they're in. But I know in Wisconsin, if I call a representative who's not from my district, they will still listen to me. If I say from Wisconsin, I never say I'm from the 1st district. I just say I'm calling from Wisconsin, and then that gets their attention. So I think it's the same in most of the states, that if you're their constituent, they'll listen to you. If you're not the constituent, quite honestly, a lot of them don't care.
That's true.
Because you can't vote for them. But these are of course we know Sierra Leone has so many needs. This President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, and I think that also includes malaria. I'm not sure. And also the Malaria Initiative. Sierra Leone is not included in many of those.
That's correct.
And who needs it more than Sierra Leone? We all know malaria is a major problem in Sierra Leone. And I know there's an organization called Nothing But Nets that distributes free nets. And I wrote to them and I said, why aren't you in Sierra Leone? I never got a reply. But if 25 people write to them, maybe they'll get a reply. And I don't know how they choose. I've asked people, how do you choose what countries you go to? And nobody can give me an answer. I think it's politics. Yes.
Is it possible for some of these items that you have listed, is it possible, and you mentioned one of the slides, collaboration? Is it possible for NOSLINA to partner with some
Very much.
organization?
Very
and
much.
bring other organizations
Yes.
to do
Very
some of
much
these things?
so. And I know we're going to be meeting with the new ambassador, Ambassador Stevens. I've heard very good things about him. Because, again, quite honestly, if I call up and I say I'm Judy Figge from Janesville, Wisconsin, a lot of times they really aren't too interested. But if somebody calls up and says, I am the ambassador from Sierra Leone, they're much more likely to get attention.